Hey y'all, welcome back to It's Organic over here with Tasia and Sharita. We are here for episode 4, and this month we are exploring what we feel our responsibility is as it relates to sharing the gems and the nuggets and the hard lessons that we've learned along the way with our wellness journey. So tune in, hope you enjoy.
So I'm gonna bring y'all into speed on where we are. Sharita and I were talking, and I was like, you know, I've dealt with some encounters with some folks who are interested in this wellness thing because the blessing is being able to look a certain way and say, hey, I didn't start here, and I can kind of walk you through it as well as best as I can. That was the original blessing for me at least. And now I'm getting to the point where what does that mean long term? And I thought about each one teach one in
Mhm.
wellness because a lot of us are the way we are because there's not enough folks who know enough to be
Mhm.
healthy, to
Mhm.
maintain wellness, to maintain fitness. These are new concepts that we're grasping in our 30s, in our 40s, in our 50s when, it would have been best to get it early on. And
Yeah.
I just want to kind of chat to you about it and see your take on it because you're extremely popular when it comes to, in my opinion, people feeling comfortable to have these types of discussions because of your journey. And is that something important to you, or do you just want to like really just live your life and be healthy finally?
Um, no, not now.
Okay.
Initially it started out as just something that, it was just my journey and me sharing.
Right.
I'm a millennial, so we were kind of raised in the digital age. And so younger on, I shared, I mean, I still do, but just in a different way. I shared pretty much everything where I was, what I was eating, what I was
Mm,
doing, what I was watching. Like I shared everything online. And
right.
so what I was eating and what I was cooking was no different. And
Hmm.
so I always shared that. So naturally, as my, eating habits began to change, so did the content that I was sharing online. And it wasn't for purposes of teaching anyone. It literally just started out as just, I'm just oversharing online, like how I've
Yeah.
always done. And it didn't really start to change, I think, until I started receiving um, inquiries from others online who were a little inquisitive, like, wow, that's a drastic change.
Yeah.
And once not only they could see the drastic change in my habits, but also how I was showing up physically, of course, initially, because I was heavy, like real heavy. I was thick.
Okay. Okay.
And
Ain't
I
nothing
went,
wrong with a little meat on your bones.
I ain't talking about that kind of thick.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I'm talking about I was thick, thick.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, I had them tipped over. You know.
Not you that tipped over. Be
Yeah,
like
I was
that.
thick. I'm being
Been
cute by
there.
saying thick, but I was overweight. And
Mhm.
so once you could see the transition from me being overweight to coming into more, weight loss and looking a little more healthier, of course,
Right.
others are kind of like, well, what you over there doing?
Okay. You snatched, man. What did
Yeah,
you
well,
do? What did
what
you
you
take?
doing? Your skin going?
Yes.
What was happening?
Yes.
Share it. And so I've always had a knack for teaching and training. In my previous career, I was a business analyst.
Okay.
And as part of that, I had to create training programs and softwares and, train the staff on how to use them and how to improve their jobs. So I always had like a teaching, a knack for teaching or a teaching element to
Yeah.
me. And so when I noticed that there was like an abundance of particularly women who were curious and had questions. And then they started sharing like their stories and, oh my God, I've been experiencing this. I went through some of what you did, or
Mm.
here's some other things that I have. How did you do that? And so that's when it became more of a, oh, I think this might be something more than just,
Mm.
about myself, because if it can help others, then why not share? So I just started, sharing. I switched gears from just sharing what I was eating and switched gears to just talking about what it was or why I was doing certain things. And I shared like the easy parts, the hard parts, the when I, had moments where I backslid, or I just shared
Mhm.
authentically what my journey was. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it flowed for me. So to answer your question, do I just want to be in a space where I just want to be healthy on my own now? No,
Yeah.
no.
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 So this is a community thing for you now.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
people approach you with these questions, at least initially, were you
Mhm.
prepared or did you just kind of give them whatever you had at the time?
I wasn't prepared. I just shared.
You just shared. I like that. Yeah. You weren't prepared, you just shared. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, no, I
okay.
wasn't prepared at all. I just shared. I just talked about just naturally, like, when they ask a question, I just shared from a natural place. Well, here's what I do, here's how I'm doing it, here's why, here's what I've learned, here's, the good things I learned, here's the bad things I learned. Take from it what you can and create your own path. But yeah, I just shared initially. I would say it probably was maybe a couple years in when I started to kind of formalize how I was sharing it because I got so many inquiries and my
Mhm.
goal was to such as it is now is to try to impact and touch as many people as possible. So trying to figure out ways on a larger platform than just one-on-one at the time, what I was doing only when someone would come and ask. So it didn't turn into, something more where I would like write materials or do classes and things like that until, like some years into it. And for a while I didn't think I had much to say.
That's
Like
crazy.
yeah, I didn't think what I had discovered was like that earth-shattering in the time
Okay.
that anybody would want to hear it in a way that they could, learn from it and learn how to apply from their lives. Like I was just doing my millennial thing. You know how we do.
Yes, this is
Just
true, but let me ask you this.
mhm,
So you said in the beginning, so how many years have you been in? I think we talked about it in a previous podcast, but
mhm. I'm in now a little over 4 years. So I'm going into year 5 officially, I'll
that
say.
is insane. You've
Yeah,
only been
officially.
doing this for 4 years.
Yeah, yeah. I
Wow.
think,
Okay. I mean, and
yeah,
I'm in that same
4
space
officially.
too.
Yeah.
I'm in that same space too, but it's just insane how quickly life can change
Oh, yeah.
when
Yeah.
you really buy in to the process. But yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So you
Yeah.
said you were doing 4 years and initially you didn't think you had much to share and what else?
Yeah, I didn't think I had much to share. And I think there was a whole like, how do I share it? What do I say? Because my process was so different from just the little things that I have gathered along the way.
Mhm.
Like we always say, there's a lot of influencers in this space, in the wellness
So
space, but
many.
yeah, there's so many, but we all have a different way in which we show up. We have different corners, we have different areas. Some are in fitness, some are in diet and exercise, some do keto diet, some do
Right.
paleo diet, some do pescatarian, some do I started out as pescatarian. Um, we just do so many different things. So I was too busy in my mind trying to figure out
Hmm.
like how best to, share the information. I even thought, at one point I was getting so many inquiries and I was like, man, do I need to go to school for this to learn a formal way?
Right. Been
And
there.
I did end up going through like a food and nutrition and health and wellness program or whatever. But it was helpful. I will say it probably was more for my own confidence, but and just giving me like the science behind a lot of things. That part of it was
Right.
helpful because I knew what I knew from a practical standpoint, but from a scientific standpoint of how, food actually impacts our body or whatever, that
Hmm.
part, to be able to explain it to someone from a medical, I'm putting air quotes up, but a medical perspective or a scientific, point of view,
I
that
did the same
that
thing
part of
with
it.
farming, so I understand.
Yeah, so you have the same
In
feeling?
terms of, trying to get information because I
Yeah,
wanted to learn more about what we eating, and how to
yeah,
grow it.
yeah,
So same process in terms of
yeah,
going and getting some help from someone else.
yeah. I kind of
Yeah.
went through the same thing with the farming also. I started out by going to volunteer. That's how I learned out about urban farms.
Yeah.
Um, because once I have been having like this little itch, like I'm like, I eat all these fruits and vegetables and I can't grow none of them myself.
Right, right,
And
right.
one day, I'm at work. This is a few years ago. I'm at work, and one of my coworkers, she didn't know, that at the time I think I was transitioning to plant-based, and she didn't know. But every time she would walk by me, she always saw me with fruits and vegetables. And so
Mm.
she peeked into my office and she said, "Are you a vegetarian?" And I said, "Yeah, something like that." And she was like, that's super cool. She was like, I'm always watching you. And I'm like, she always got a bottle of water. She always got some lemon and mint in this water. She got a salad
Yeah,
every time
people
I see
notice
her.
that.
They noticed it, and I did not know. I didn't
Yeah.
realize how much they noticed it. So
I
what you gotta
carry,
know?
I'm showing Sharita right now a bottle of lemon and cucumber water. I drink this all the time at work, and
Yep.
everybody is all up in my business, which they had a right to be
They
because it's clear.
notice.
But
Yeah.
they know, like, what are you
Yeah.
drinking? Why are
Yeah.
you drinking it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know until I didn't know just how much they noticed until I was relocating here and it was, in your last week of work, you're like saying your goodbyes to everybody.
Yeah.
And a couple of them were like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna, miss seeing you around here with your salads. We were just talking about you." And I'm like, "What?" And they were like, "Yeah." Or they'll just randomly come ask me questions. That part was weird, like having people come ask me questions. I'm like, "Well, why you ask me this? You don't know." Like,
They know you know something because clearly you look it. That's the thing. Like you're an
well,
advertised board
that part was
promise you.
weird. Because I'd be like, well, why are you asking me? Especially if they weren't online. That probably was
Right. You know what?
the difference. It's a difference when they see me online, but a lot of my coworkers, I don't think any of them, we weren't social media friends. So they got to see what my life was like and how I, walked out the
Hold
journey
on.
offline.
I got to say
So
something about that. If you're an
really?
interesting person, people are definitely looking you up. Yes or no? Are you not
Okay,
looking
you
up
know what?
interesting
You're
people?
right. That's the day and age we live in. You're right.
That's number one. And then
Yeah.
number two, like I think it's like even more gratifying to a certain extent to get
Yeah.
that type of um inquisitiveness in the
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
strangers, you don't know me, you
Yeah.
haven't seen anything that I'm doing. You just
Yeah.
see me and you make a healthy assumption that
Yeah.
it's a positive thing. So
Yeah,
I've
that's
received the
true.
same. I think it's a
Really?
different flex. It's a different flex if you don't know
Okay.
anybody and they
Yeah,
don't see your online presence. Like they
that
know
is true.
clearly
Yeah.
by how you look.
I'll tell you how impactful it was. This is when I feel like during this time, God was really speaking to me, and God
Mm,
was like, all right, you are starting to come into your purpose now. Like, this is when I feel like my purpose started to be revealed, is during the time when I was at work, and I had a group of good buddy, my good work girlfriends. I still talk to a couple of them now from back in Florida. Shout out if you're listening.
shout out to y'all.
And the one coworker, she asked me, she saw me eating the salads all the time. She was like, "What are you vegetarian?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And so she asked, she said, "Do you grow your own food?" What she doesn't know is that at the time I had been like studying, I was reading books because I had a mind to want to grow my own food, but I just was so nervous to go buy all this stuff and invest all this money and, fail at it. So of course I'm over
Yeah.
studying everything. I'm watching YouTube videos. I went and volunteered at the farm. Like I had done all of this. And so when I told her, I was like, "No, I'm not growing my own, but I'm trying to learn." And she was like, "Well, what would you like to grow?" And so I'm telling her, I didn't know that this woman owned acres of land and
Wow.
had a full blown, I don't even like to call it a garden. She pretty much had a farm. And
Mm.
she was like, "Well, I can teach you, I can help you." And I was like, "You can?" Her name is Stephanie. And she was like, "Yeah, I got you." And she was like, "What do you have?" And I was like, "Nothing." And she was like, "I'll see you tomorrow." She comes to work. She brings her huge, like, truck or whatever that her husband has. She has, at the
Mm.
time I had an SUV. She brings a raised garden bed for me. She brings all the soil parts, teaches me how to mix it. Like we're on lunch break and she's mapping it out. She's telling me what to plant, when to plant it, how to take care of it. I mean, like the works. And
Wow.
I was like, "Oh my God." And so from there, she like really helped me get started. Um, Around this time is when I also started getting into like herbalism, and I was drinking tea like 3 times a day. And there's this little
Mm.
herb shop not far from our office. And every day my work girlfriends, they were like, "You always drinking that tea." Like I had the tea kettle at the office, and you see
Mhm.
me beelining it. I'm telling I'm getting fresh water and I'm making tea 3 times a day. And so they were like, "What are you drinking?" And I was like, "Oh, herbal teas. I've been learning about, drinking different teas and the benefits from the herbs." And, and they were like, "Well,
Yeah.
what does this one do?" And I'm like, "Well, this one is kind of like a diuretic and it helps to flush and it, helps to,
Mm.
what was the midday one? Definitely helps to flush. Oh, curb your appetite, things like that." And they were like, "No, it's not." And I was like, "Okay, you want to try it?" And they were like, "Yeah." So I make up a batch, I bring it in. Now I got at least like 3 ladies at the office drinking tea all day. And they were like, "I don't know if it's in my mind, but I really am." like, losing weight,
Mhm.
like my appetite is curb.
Really?
I'm not, it was insane. And I never forget one of them. She was like, this is a blessing. Like I would have never thought, I would have stayed away from it. I ended up taking them to my herb shop. Like it was a whole thing. Like we was
Oh,
having lunch breaks at the herb shop. Like,
And see, this is what it is. This is
yeah,
the each one teach one effect. Like
yeah,
just literally you living your life. At least
yeah,
that's how I see it. You living your life and then you
yeah,
inviting people in
yeah.
things that work.
Right. Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
that's really all it was, just living my life. I would make food at home or like little snacks. I bring them their own little bags. I'm like, try this, y'all. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is good. This vegan? Yep, this is vegan. They're like, oh, okay, this is dope. We can do this. Okay,
Yeah.
got y'all. And so just going through things like that and just trying to figure out how I can make like a greater impact after seeing the benefits that other women got from it and how they would apply it and like change their lifestyle or their habits or whatever. I still get stories or like feedback from them. I'm still doing this or I'm doing that. And it's really exciting to see
Yeah.
how teaching one just things that I learned that I didn't think were that earth shattering like
That's
or
insane that you
can be
didn't think that
impactful
that
to
was
someone
it.
else.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't. I just was doing me.
I think that's the blessing when you're being authentic and you're being
Yeah.
genuine about who you are. So it's just like, okay, y'all want to get on what I'm on? Let's try it
Yeah.
out together and being
Yeah.
very inviting.
Yeah.
Being very inviting and not gatekeeping. We already talked about gatekeeping. Please go
Yeah,
back to the
no,
other
no
podcast and listen
gatekeeping.
to. But we don't
No,
do no gatekeeping.
no. Mm-mm.
And I also thought about this because I just had an encounter with a coworker, and I won't go too deep into it, but I think she's really interested in
Mm.
turning her fitness level to the next level.
Yeah.
And she brought it up very slightly, and I was like, bet. If this is something you ready for, do this, 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 and then this, and then we exchange
Mm-hmm.
numbers. But it's
Oh.
just I have this style of I want people to be interested. I'm not because
Mm.
there's so much stuff online telling people what to do to be their best
Yeah.
selves and how they need to live their lives.
Yeah.
These type of health decisions are not something that you want to keep yo-yoing with, going back and forth.
Mm.
Eventually, you want to actually take some steam and be committed.
Yeah.
Let's not just do this till we hit our goal because I don't even
Yeah.
have like a specific fitness goal anymore. Like
Yeah, me
long
either.
term. I'm
Yeah.
just I tell I tell some of the people that I work with this. I say I'm training like I'm headed to the Olympics.
I heard you say that before, and I love that.
And
You
I
said
mean
that we
that
talked
too.
about a week or so ago, and I was like, I like that. That's a good way to think, though.
Yeah, it
You
keeps
going
me
hard.
excited and strong. I'm not going hard. It's just that I want to build up as if it's needed for me to hop
Yeah,
on any of the teams, I can do it.
you can do it. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I just have that in my back pocket. Like last week I just hopped a fence and kept running. Like,
Really?
yeah, like I didn't know
I
I had
haven't
it
hopped
in
the
me.
fence since I was in middle school. And I'm not even gonna say why I was
Yeah, why you talking to Miss Sharita? Let's talk
doing
about
something I
it.
had no business doing.
And I should have been hopping the fence, but I was playing. But the whole thing is like, what? You can just hop a fence. You can
Yeah.
just chase behind people. Like I'm doing things with my body that I hadn't did, like you said, since
Yeah.
middle school, since high
Hmm.
school. So it's mind shattering. But we should
Yeah.
never feel like we get too far away from it. And
Yeah.
and I think when you get to a certain age and people see that you're doing it, they want to know what it is. And
Yeah.
sometimes it comes off really brash because trendy things like Ozempic, they
Yeah.
kind of, start
Yeah.
tying you to that, which if it works for those who are dealing with those types of illnesses and that is an option, an alternative that you want to use,
Yeah.
by all means do it. I just do
Yeah.
think I will say on this podcast, it's a bit unfair to assume that everyone is doing the same thing to
Mm.
achieve their own wellness goals
Yeah.
and to be a little bit more discerning, before
Yeah.
splattering that they're doing something because that can come off offensive.
Yeah. I never thought about that. Do you know of anyone who probably assumed that to you about you or have they asked that of you?
No, I haven't had that, but I have had a moment I think I shared with you privately about going to the doctor's office. It
Yeah.
being very like, so how did you do it? Oh, I did this and this. Like very
Yeah.
simple. Like I changed the way I eat.
Yeah.
I calorie count. I'm making sure I get enough of protein, fats. My hitting my
Hmm.
macros,
Yeah.
hitting my micros. Like very sensible things that'll eventually kind of like recover the body.
Yeah.
and she kept peckering at it. And I just took it very naively, like, okay, she was just so excited about what I had going
Yeah.
on.
I
And
remember that conversation because I was like, I think she think you taking something.
yes, I was like, Sharita suggested that maybe that there was something that I was not telling the lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause yeah, and I was just like, that wouldn't have crossed my mind because I really
Yeah.
do it the right way, and I
Yeah.
couldn't have seen it being done any other way.
Yeah. I don't that to my knowledge, I don't know that anybody had thought that about me because I was just oversharing. Like, I mean,
You had the evidence
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I had the evidence there. And even if you see me or you go out to dinner with me, you're gonna know like it's not just a facade online. Like my friend, we we love like going to Mexican restaurants, like that's our thing. So a Taco
Mhm.
Tuesday or a Good Friday night, or we going from some margaritas, like Mexican was our spot.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think one time before when we went for Mexican food, what was something that I got and it went, maybe I might have got like steak tacos. It literally went from like steak tacos to vegetable fajitas.
Okay.
And I'll never forget when the fajita, fajita came out. She was like, "So you gonna get a garden on fire?"
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my God, it's so good." And I'm sitting here at the table
Yeah.
like going ham. And she like, "You really do this, don't you?" Yeah. Like this
Yeah.
is and it's really good. I was just talking to my friend the other day and I didn't this was the first indicator that things had really changed for me. This is when I like a mirror was held up to me.
Right.
And I was speaking to someone and they always ask me about restaurants because they know I'm always going out to eat. And they're like, "Well, what about this restaurant? How was that?" And I'm like, "Oh, this salad was fire. They got this, they got that on it. They put this, they make their own dressing." And I was like, "Oh, okay." As in another time, they asked me about another restaurant, and I'm like, "Oh, they are so good. This salad they got there, let me tell you, you got to get this one." They was like, probably by after like the fourth or fifth time we were doing that, they was like, "You realize you always talking about the salad at the restaurant? Don't nobody want no salad." And I was like,
That's funny.
"Oh my gosh, like I really do
That's
go
really
there
funny.
and get the salad." So
It
yeah,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
I
It's
don't think
salads
nobody thought
matter.
I had Ozempic.
Okay,
'Cause
yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying.
yeah, I don't think so. Because the way I'd be talking about vegetables, like I'm a big up. I'm like, it's a steak. Like,
Speaking of, I got the portobello steak from the W.
what's
Yeah.
the W? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha. So which one did you get? You got the lion's mane?
No, portobello.
Oh, like the big one.
They didn't have Lions game. They had only
You have to
portobello
go
ones and
to okay. So for lion's mane, you have to go to the H,
okay.
or you have to go to the C, their sister one.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll talk about it offline. But yeah, I
yeah.
wanted to mention that to you in real time. I did try it. I was like, it's okay.
It's okay.
I was still hungry after I left, but it was good.
Wait, you got it at a restaurant?
Yeah, I got it from the W place.
Oh, I can't even think of what
It's
place you're
not
talking
fight,
about.
but it's a war. Okay, we'll talk
Yeah,
about
we
it
got to talk about it because I'm like, wait,
offline.
was it? Oh, was it where we talked about?
Yes, that's why. Sorry, y'all, that it's taking us so long to get through this moment. It really is
You
important.
talking about the place where I told you where we was like, we probably wouldn't go back there no more. You went again?
Yes, my husband wanted to go, so we went. We
Okay.
went to
Oh my goodness.
Oxtails. Yeah.
I haven't been back since. What did you get for the sides?
Well, I got what it came with. It came with what it come with? Roasted
Vegan macaroni?
potatoes. They did not have the macaroni. I was not going to even play with my life like that, but
It was okay. So here's the thing. It wasn't bad. It's just you have to eat it fresh. Don't take your
what if I
mama
need to
with
wash my hands and stuff? That's what I think
you
with
better
vegan
wait.
food. I don't have time.
You better wait. You better hold it. Eat that macaroni as soon as they hit the table. Because if you
That's not
wait,
okay.
don't even touch nothing else on the plate. Eat the macaroni.
Don't say grace, just
Don't
go.
say grace. Just go right in. Lord.
Because by the time you finish grace,
It done watered up. It is not.
The vegan cheese, more specifically, is what we're talking about, y'all. Vegan cheese. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that one day. That's its own podcast.
That's his own podcast. Yeah. I'm telling you, don't you gotta eat that stuff? I got a piece of pizza in here right now
Oh, you
from
better eat
yesterday. No, I ain't eating that pizza. It's done. It's in the fridge, but it's going in the trash. I'm not eating that.
it.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No.
Vegan cheese. Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah, vegan cheese is not where it is. I don't know. We talked about this documentary before. Well, a network that we all watch, a streaming platform that we all watch. They came out with a documentary. I want to say it was coming into 2024, so it was like around January, December, January,
Okay.
and it was like a big deal. They were really bringing the plant-based lifestyle to the forefront.
Okay.
And everyone was like, everyone online that I was like friends with were really excited about it. And I got on my soapbox and was selling out about it because so they did this social experiment where they took like twins and they fed one a plant-based diet and then one a standard American diet just to
That's
see
so
how
evil.
their bodies would, respond or whatever. And
Yeah.
so they did like, really in-depth testing on them week after week. They did check-ins. They had someone curate their diet. They lived together. They made sure they did the same things and changed nothing other than their diet, right?
Hmm.
And so while it was a great experiment, I thought it was really good. However, throughout the entire documentary, they keep promoting vegan cheese. And you can
Why?
tell that the vegan cheese industry definitely was like the biggest sponsor of this documentary because
Mm,
I'm trying to figure out why are we going to vegan cheese factories? Why are we showing like the
gotcha.
production process and talking about the quality of it and how good it is? Why? It's not healthy.
See, Sharita, you about
And
to
you're
make the
promoting a full-on processed diet as opposed to a healthy, that's not plant-based.
you got me looking behind my back because they may be behind me. These vegan cheese people, man.
Yeah, they're gonna come for me. Sorry, not sorry.
I mean, yeah, it's clear the promotion is there. So
Yeah.
they more than likely definitely had a high stake in putting their money in it.
Yeah, they definitely had a high stake. And I think what upset me the most about it, or the reason I was so passionate about it, is because, of course, the more that I start to learn about things, I always want to share. And I always want someone to be fully informed. Like, I'm not going to, do something and then, not share all of it. If I choose not to eat vegan cheese, here's why. Like, there was a period of
Hmm.
time where, this was around the time where I was still trying to lose weight. And I wanted to lose like about 10 more pounds to get a cushion. And during that time, it's around that time when I started taking the food and nutrition class. And that's when I learned why I was stalled out. One of the main reasons was because even though I had eliminated meat, I was still eating a whole bunch of processed foods, lots of
Right, that's the part.
sugars and things. And so once I learned what a processed food was, because it sounds funny, but I didn't know. I just thought no meat meant you doing good. No meat, add some more fruit, add some more vegetables, and you're good. And it just was
Mhm.
not, because like I said, I was eating the carrots and dipping them in ranch dressing like that.
Hey,
So
every once in a while, I ain't gonna lie, I use some ranch today. I use some ranch with them roasted potatoes. So every
listen,
once
I
in a
had a
while,
vegan burger today
you know,
with
yeah,
vegan cheese. I It's been a busy weekend, so I've eaten out every day. Um,
be like that sometimes.
yeah, I gotta clean it up. I'm going to. I've already gone grocery shopping. I
We
just hadn't
good.
had the time to cook, but for sure, I've been tearing these restaurants up in Houston these past few days.
I mean, I'm not the vegan or well, number one, I'm not vegan,
The
so let me make
police.
sure I'm pescatarian, but I'm not the diet police. That if I feel like it gets out of hand and we gotta have
It's
like a
been out
sit
of hand.
down.
It's
Oh, is
been
that
out of hand.
bad?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, girl, is that
I've been
bad?
eating out every day this week.
Every day?
Every day.
Oh man, we got to discuss this offline because our
Yeah.
friendship is at stake over this. I'm just kidding. Because
Yeah,
I
every
I
day.
just had some nah.
What you have? What you,
I ordered IHOP again because I was still hungry
wait,
after the
you ordered
order.
a what?
I ordered IHOP again because I was still hungry. I was still hungry after
Wait,
that mushroom steak.
you weren't full from it?
No.
Okay, so they didn't have the vegan macaroni in the menu?
No, they switched their menu up because they have a new owner. Well, it's the same owner, they changed their
Oh,
name and they're expanding. So now they have
really?
a location in Dallas.
Okay.
Mhm.
Alrighty. Yeah, guess I was gonna say that's weird. So I knew I was gonna be hungry when I ordered that meal. So the greedy side of me was like, I'm not about to leave here hungry. So it came with like the potatoes, and I think it came with broccolini, maybe.
Yes, yes, that
Yeah,
was
so they
not
still have
enough.
it wasn't enough till I added the macaroni on the side. So you know that meme of that guy
Um,
when he's sitting at the table, and I think he got on glasses or something. He got like a table full of food, and he like going from
oh yes, Jay Verse, is that his name?
yeah, that
Yeah.
was me. I'm
I
all
should
over
have
the
did
table.
that. I was still hungry. And
Yeah,
I
I
was
would.
like, as
Yeah.
soon as we leave, I'm about to order a whole nother meal. Not even a side. I need an entire bit. I'm starving.
Oh
And we went to
no,
church. Anyway, I
you
got the
did?
yeah, it was so good.
Really? So you went on Pentecost Sunday.
Yeah.
I wish I could have made it, but I couldn't. I
It's
wanted to
cool.
get in there and
I
get
know
my
your
shout,
heart.
get my shout on. I
Yeah, I
needed
did a
next
little
Sunday
two-step
though. Do
here
you?
and there. The little Jesus two-step.
Little Jesus two step. I didn't even watch online today. Normally, if I don't go, I'm gonna watch it. I didn't, but I did talk to the Lord. I read scripture, and I prayed. So we had a conversation. I just didn't get word from somewhere else.
That's okay, God. I know your heart. I don't know why you
Yeah,
explained it to me, but I
yeah,
understand. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was looking online. I kept seeing Pentecost Sunday. I'm like, dang, I bet there's gonna be some good church going on today.
It was good music, good
Yeah,
songs, good sermons. So
yeah,
yeah.
cool, good. So, where do you think you are? The same question you asked me, like, are you
Mhm.
okay with just being healthy and sharing with people as they ask, or do you feel like you're in a season, or you may come into a season of wanting to teach more?
Very great question, even though I'm the original. But it's a really good question. The way you asked it, it just felt new. Um, I definitely just want to be open to whoever wants to know more about whatever they want to know. I don't want to
Yeah,
put anything on anybody who's not ready, at least not in this season.
yeah,
I've just been blessed to have a lot of people come up and ask me, like, basically, girl, what are you doing?
yeah,
And I just explain what I'm doing and I explain why I did it. And I try to make it as simple as possible. And I
yeah.
also naturally say it in a very easy way because it really is once you've changed your mindset.
Mhm.
Once you've
Yeah,
made a decision that I'm no longer going to eat the way I ate or
yeah,
move the way I move, and I'm not going to be having this war about who I am anymore. Because that's really what
yeah,
it is, especially when you're in a weight loss journey. I can
yeah,
imagine gaining weight too, because
yeah.
you're having to change the way your body is molded. But
Mhm.
more specifically for those who um, have to lose a lot of weight, I've lost 76 pounds since the
Wow.
1st of June. So I'm just so grateful to be able to even do
Since
that.
when?
Not since the 1st of June. I weigh in every month. So
Oh, okay.
um, I think I was 180 or one. Let me see. My original biggest or highest weight was like 212. It
Mhm.
may have been higher than that, but that's
Mhm.
what I recorded.
Yeah.
And now I'm at like 138. And I
Wow.
got that within the span of 3 years. It took some
Wow.
time to get there, but
Yeah.
once I got the processed food out the way, which was literally just last year,
Yeah.
and change over eating habits, I was able to achieve the body I want and be able to maintain it and get better and better and better. But I
Yeah.
said all that to say that I just want people to approach me. I don't want to push it on anybody.
Yeah.
I feel like I've had better results from people who actually want to learn versus me just generalizing, hey guys, this is what we need to do and this is when we need to do it. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So when you say that, you mean like you just wanted to be like in a natural space, like kind of how you said like with your coworker
Yeah.
did. Okay, gotcha. That
Yeah,
makes
like
sense.
if people just ask me, I just tell them, you
Yeah.
know. I feel
Yeah.
like there are definitely opportunities where programs be a part of the programs that are developed or development
Yeah.
programs to help further it.
Yeah.
But I'm 4 years in, I think it's still pretty fresh. Do you not
Yeah.
feel that way sometimes? Like, I'm not uncertain about what I know.
Mm-hmm.
I just am not in expert mode. At least the way that's how I
Mm.
see myself. I see myself as still developing a voice for what this type of lifestyle looks like for a person like me.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I'm your average woman that goes to work, comes home, goes to the gym. Like, I don't have a ton of events, but I have enough events that can sometimes push me off course.
Mm.
So I want to be able to tell the average person that does all of the main things that you can fit in time for fitness, you can fit in time to eat well and be able to cook for yourself, and you can maintain it. This is how I do it. I
Yeah.
don't want to make it complicated. That's my goal, is making it
Yeah.
simple for me so that I can be able to make it simple for others, which means I have to keep doing it some more. And my life is
Mm.
transitioning more, which means my time
Mm.
constraints are putting me in a space to really feel like the average person even more
Yeah.
so that I can achieve it.
That makes sense. I was in a training earlier this week, and it was totally unrelated to this, but the facilitator was talking about how much the industry that I'm in is evolving and how it's changing and how we relate to people has changed so much. And one of the ways that she uh, describe the industry or the not necessarily the industry, but one of the ways she described in which how we relate to one another is
Hmm.
through transparency. We are in the age of
Yeah, for sure.
transparency. And I think I was just like where you were like some years ago, where I felt like, I'm not an expert. I still don't feel like I'm an expert in the least bit. Um, and we are the average woman, like we live our lives day to day, just like millions of other women across the world. And I think that that is what, just like she was saying, what people kind of relate to the most because they do look at you and see, oh, she's just like me. She, does well
Yeah.
one day. She has a moment where she backslides the next, or she's really busy. Sometimes she can't. Sometimes she eating out for a whole week, and
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
she can't cook every day either. So, but she still somehow maintains it. So I mean, just being transparent, even just being transparent and being yourself is helpful to others because it lets them know, like, I don't have to follow like these rigid rules or these, this rigid schedule, or it doesn't have to be so strict. It's just natural and it's simple. And there are ways to incorporate it, like you said, into your everyday life. It just takes um intention. Like you have to
Oh,
be
yeah.
intentional about it, but it's not something that others can't do. So I think it's awesome that you want to make sure that you're settled into, your voice and your rhythm and how you want to share it. And I know that others will receive it when you have to share because you the
You.
junk anyway.
Oh, thank you, friend. I always
You look
appreciate the
good,
love. Thank
you're
you.
disciplined, you are honest, and people really relate to that. You don't want to be anything that you're not. You're not putting on a facade. You're being you, and you're sharing what worked for you, and people respond to that. And that is like a
Appreciate that.
magnet to others. So
Thank you.
yeah,
I want it to be like peak for me, not
yeah,
in a perfect way, but like, okay, I can do working out 3 times a day, not
yeah.
3 times a day, excuse me.
3 times a week.
3 times a week in terms of like lifting and,
Mm,
maybe even something like a class, just switching it up and keeping my body routines differently,
yeah,
but walking routinely 30 to 45 minutes every day, no matter what.
yeah,
I want that to be like locked and loaded for life. And I'm getting to that
yeah,
point. So it's really,
yeah,
really, really close. It's just
yeah.
that with some new life transitions and opportunities, I want to make sure I can maintain
Maintain it.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's the thing about it. People are like tired when they get off of work. People are tired when they have to get into
Hmm.
traffic a little bit. They're
Yeah,
tired within the wear and tear of life. But
yeah.
You gotta get in the gym. You gotta make sure that you're eating your meals and making sure
Mhm.
that you're not overeating because
Yeah.
all of that ties into how you feel about the day and the people you deal with as well. So I want to make
Yeah.
that solid, solid with me.
With you before you share with
Yeah.
someone
But
else. Yeah.
if you ask me on the fly, like I tell you what I know. But in
Yeah.
terms of getting into manuscripts and books and stuff like that, which at some point it'll come,
Yeah.
but I want to make sure it's routine with me
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I will never say, expert, but one thing I think I have down really pat is the meal planning and meal prep.
Yes.
And that was something that I did. I did meal planning and meal prep long before I transitioned to, a healthier lifestyle. Just being busy and,
Mm-hmm.
having children and having a full plate. And, my children were smaller, they were younger at the time. So I made up, I know I still have them, but I made up like these little meal plan templates. And I would literally go through Monday through Saturday, or for the most part, Monday through Friday, or even Monday through Saturday, like even the days where we would dine out or eat out, I would write that on it. And I had a schedule of
Mm-hmm.
what I was going to cook. And then based on what I was going to cook, then I would break out the grocery list like on the same template. And I still use the same method to
You
this
so
day.
organized. I'm not saying I'm not, but just like your level of organization and maintaining it, that's what management skills in life is really about. The people who can
Yeah.
manage it the best. So my friend
Yeah.
a
Well,
Virgo,
thank you.
and they excellent with that, man.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
that's our our skill set. We will
Yes.
get you together with some
Yes.
organization. But thank you. But yeah, so I just took that same, plan or methodology and rolled it over to here. The only difference is when I was doing it then, I didn't batch cook as much. And my children thought they were, a little too fancy for leftovers.
I'm one of them. Help
So
me. Deliver me from this. I can't do more than 2 days, Lord.
child, getting them to do 2 days is like a stretch. But I'm trying to think, like back then, how did I make it? Oh, I know what it was. So back then, I was kind of, in a sense, like the stay-at-home mom. Like it was, life was
Okay.
a lot different. I ran our businesses, and then I worked. When I worked from home, and I was homeschooling. So that's a full plate in itself. I don't ever want to make it seem like that's a easy life, because it's
Yeah.
probably more work than working outside the home. But I worked in the home, and at the time, and so it was a little easy to, if I'm in my office at home and I'm doing some work, to run out there and chop something up and throw it in a crock pot and cook it really quick. So I could cook every
Mm,
day then. But it was, yeah, they was a little too good for that. They wanted a hot, fresh meal
I'm the
every day
same.
they clocked out of school. Like
Oh, yes, Lord.
every
Who
day.
wouldn't want that? Hold on, because that looks crazy to want to go backwards if you can get it nice and fresh. Your kids are not crazy for that.
Listen, let me tell you how I probably still have these text messages from my daughter. She'd be at school in fourth period or last period of the day. She texting, "What we having for dinner?" If you don't leave me alone, you will see
Man,
when you get home. Like, stop. I just want to know what we eat. You know you're gonna eat.
no, because that'll prepare me mentally to get excited when I walk through the door.
See, I didn't
I be
understand that
siding with
then.
the kids too much. Oh my goodness.
That's what she
'Cause-
was trying to do. Get
yeah.
excited. So I still like to say back then I wasn't batch cooking. Batch cooking became a thing when I transitioned to, you know, I, it wasn't plant-based in the beginning, but when I started to transition to a healthier way of eating, then I
Hmm.
started batch cooking. I didn't even start out initially with batch cooking though. It kind of, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Once I got solid in what I was doing, at first I was just like, I'm eliminating everything. And then once I went from, eliminating and started really kind of finding my lane of what I wanted to eat, then I started to
Hmm.
batch cook. So yeah, I would cook for up to 4 days. And I still
No,
do right now.
ma'am. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I don't care how good your food is. I'm not eating that 4 days in a row. Heck no. Am I immature? Get into the
You
comment
know what?
section,
And
guys.
listen, this is when I recommend it, and I think I probably just put this in my newsletter this past week. I recommend doing batch cooking when, especially like during the summertime or when you're really busy and you're on the go and you want to maintain like a healthy eating standard and you don't want to eat out all the time. Because then you'll be like how I was this week, where I
Mhm,
missed. I'm trying to think. I know I had something going on why I couldn't cook on Sunday, or maybe I just was trying to reserve energy. But
mhm.
either way, I didn't, and I paid the cost for it because I was all over Houston trying to find vegan food for
Yeah.
4 full weeks. So, um, yeah, during the summer, like when you're busy, it is, and you can still, dine out or go grab you something to eat to like switch it up or whatever. But I just always like to have it so I can just grab and go because I don't have a lot of time to
Look,
think.
you're doing the right thing. I wanna make sure I overemphasize that you're making decisions that we should all be thinking about
Yeah.
in terms of maintaining healthy eating. It's just hard for me to keep eating the same thing
Yeah.
over and over unless I really, really like it. So
Yeah.
that's where I have
See,
to.
that's the key. You gotta find something you really, really like because I that's probably why it benefits me. Like I love there's two different like bowls that I'll make. It's like I don't know, I call it like a Southwestern bowl or whatever. It's really
Mhm.
like a Chipotle bowl. And if someone can eat Chipotle every day, and I know a few people who eat Chipotle every day, like that's their go-to. Think, well, if you can eat Chipotle every day, you can make this at home for yourself and eat it
Yeah,
every
that's true, that's true,
day. You won't be in
that's
the line
true.
arguing with that lady to
Can you
give
put some
you
more,
right. Can you put
pieces of
right?
'cause I'm honestly, you know what, Chipotle, we may wanna be sponsored, so let me be quiet.
Yeah, okay.
But you know what we feel.
Yes.
Hopefully, you understand how we
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I can understand not wanting to eat. There's some days I might not want to eat it, but I don't have time to even think about it. So, and that's the
Yeah.
biggest part for me. Like I've been on this, I don't talk much about it, but on this minimalist kick for some years now. And I
Mhm.
didn't realize how much fatigue we get, like mental fatigue from having to make decisions all day, every day. Like we literally are
Mm.
constantly making decisions from the time we wake up in the morning, from what we're going to wear to what we're going to eat to what time we're going to leave for this. Are we going to attend this? Are we not? Like it's like we're making micro decisions all day every day. That's why sometimes by the end of the day we maxed out and we don't want to work out because we tired from making
Nah, we still wanna work
decisions.
it out. We still wanna work out over here. I hear what
I'm
you're
speaking for me.
saying.
I be tired. I'm like, I ain't got time to think about
I
which
don't always wanna
dumbbell
cook, though.
to pick up.
I don't always wanna cook.
Oh, okay, so you don't always want to cook. I don't know. See, for me, going in to cook is like a way to like help decompress.
Same.
Yeah. So see, working out for you is what cooking is for me.
Yeah, it
How can
resets
we
my
merge?
day. I know, that's why I'm calling you twin, because you the other side.
Yeah, we are like
Yeah,
the other side of each other.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's I'm any way I can. Like I even went so far as to, all right, so I don't have to think about what I wear every day. We're gonna get the same outfit like 5 times.
Sharita, you talking too much. You telling my business.
Oh, I was about to say sorry.
You just switch the color up, switch
Literally.
it, but it really is the
Yeah.
same thing. Oh
Girl,
my
like half the
God.
time I don't even care about switching up the color. I will literally go and I'm like, I'll set like a color palette. Like for the most part, it's denim and white. During the fall it might change, but it's denim,
Yeah.
white, black, maybe a little off-white, and a little olive green, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, same.
And it's the same tops, maybe in
Same.
different colors, maybe in the same color. I don't care.
If you look good, it looks good.
Yeah, I call it my uniform.
Yes,
It's my
that's what I'm saying. It's
uniform.
the same person. It's creepy.
Yeah, so
Same
I don't
thing.
even have to think about it. You just go in there and grab it. If you got the same thing, like,
Yeah,
what's there
we
to
be
think
like the
about?
cartoon characters. We just be wearing the same thing
Same
over and
thing. Yeah.
over.
Yeah. What is it to, it's nothing really, it's nothing to think
Oh, I
about.
just earn everything. I do go 5 outfits and I'll do it on like a
Uh-huh.
Saturday or Sunday, and then I'm just
Uh-huh.
pulling.
Yep. You just pull it out. Yep.
Yes.
See, you do that with your clothes. I do that with the food. I'm just pulling, pulling
What I do with the fitness in my clothes. I
see,
know where
you
I need
blew
to
up on
work
me.
on. I'm cleaning out my entire car this summer.
Yeah.
Now I'm just talking too much. But anyway. But that's the thing. Each one teach one. It's one of them situations where you learn from all
Yeah.
aspects, and hopefully, if you are able to master one thing, you can master another, and then teach
Yeah.
someone else how to do it. And it's an
Yeah.
exchange community type of thing. So
Yeah. Do you wish that when you were starting out that you could have had someone who would have taught you?
No, this time I would say no. There were
Mhm.
parts of my fitness journey in the past, like when I was younger, that I wanted somebody to kind of hold my hand with,
Mm,
but this last time it was personal. A lot of people
yeah.
pissed me off, and I really needed to go on this journey by myself. And they pissed me off real good because
Because you lost that weight and told them.
basically that was like Rocky in the mind. Like
Really?
yeah, it was just a lot of things that I needed to deal with and fight through.
You sound like Chloe.
Chloe Bailey?
No, Chloe Kardashian. This is
Okay.
years ago. I think it was after her divorce. And she went ham in the gym.
Oh
And
my
she ended
gosh.
up coming out. She had a show, it was called Revenge Body. And she was like encouraging
Mm-mm.
people to like, take whatever situation you've been through and allow it to like, empower you to get
Right.
revenge on not just on a person, but on your situation, like to overcome mentally or whatever. She said that that's what she did. Like she just got in the gym and she went Rocky Beast mode. And she was like, this for everything and everybody who ever tried.
Yeah.
And that's how she, well, I mean, there are other things there, but she definitely showed the process and she still does or whatever. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, she was the same way.
in the beginning, it definitely was I was ready to beat somebody up if need be.
Really?
Yeah, but like now, like I listen to R&B music and be, the Isley Brothers and going in. Like you
See,
never
I
really
couldn't do
know.
that.
Yes, you can. And
No,
I can
I
do
have
no
to
music too.
have, I have to have, I'm talking about I be in there and you don't want to know what's on that playlist.
Jeezy.
Oh yeah, some cheesy.
Yeah, get on my
Um,
level. What? I mean, I can only imagine.
you can know.
Every day is a switch up, but like there was a time, like one of my first playlists, which is really insane, but I'm gonna share it anyway. I think it was like something about bullies. Like every song was, I think I had Slim Shady on there. Every
Mm,
song was dedicated to like handling all of the folks in my life at that point.
yeah,
It was a lot. Um, yeah, bring your bullies to their knees. It was a whole playlist dedicated to songs that
really.
basically beat them up. Yeah, it worked.
Wow.
It worked. And then I
Huh.
wanted to be in boxing initially. So I was
I
trying
still want to
to,
do that.
we can do it because we need to pick a sport. We'll talk about that too.
We do.
Let's do it
I'm
this summer.
going.
Yes. Would
Okay.
be?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I want to do boxing. Boxing and volleyball for sure.
Yeah.
I got the
But gotta
dates on
keep,
volleyball. They have changed the date, and I actually like the date that they changed it to
okay.
because it aligns better like with my time block situation. So it falls on a day where I'm not having to give up anything to fit it in. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So
Cool. Can outside people like myself participate?
absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Heck yeah. I'll send it to you.
Yay.
I'm
Okay.
excited. I can't wait.
Me too.
I
I'm ready
can't
for the
wait.
pictures.
You-
Focus on the wrong thing, right?
Listen, I'm gonna be out there. Let me just stir the ball. Let me stir the ball.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to, fall back a little bit when I first get out there because I don't want them to be like, well, who she thinks she is?
No,
But
always go. That's how we come in.
yeah,
I
you're
need you
right.
to be
That's
on
right.
that level of who does she think she is? We know who we are. I'm ready. Even if we
Exactly.
mess up, we'll figure it out.
I love it though. They have all skill levels and there's like about 5 different courts that are out there. So yeah, you can
Hey.
like rotate. It's pretty dope. I talked to a couple of people that go already and they excited. They're like, you gotta come. I'm like, I'm coming, I'm coming. So
Yes.
yeah. So I'm ready. Ready for that. And then boxing. We definitely gotta find boxing.
Yeah. They probably have some kickboxing stuff around here. I know they did when I was living in
Mm.
Dallas. I was a part of
Really?
a kickboxing gym. Hmm.
Right when I joined, I did join the Mayweather. Well, I won't say join. I signed up to join the Mayweather gym. And
That's
right
cool.
when I signed up, they closed down the location that was nearest to me. And so they called and they were like, hey, we wanted to schedule you, for your first session. We saw that you signed up. And I was like, okay, well, let's go ahead and schedule. So I scheduled the day and everything. And next thing I know, I get the confirmation and it says a location that was like almost 45 minutes away from me. And I was like, whoa, this isn't the gym I signed up for. And they
Right.
were like, oh, we closed yours down. What?
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, "Well, how come y'all didn't tell tell me?"
Yeah.
So I ride by there. I was just there yesterday when me and my son when we went and got pizza, and they still have like the sign up there. Like you would think it's still there, like it still looks.
That's messed up.
That is messed up, right?
They just got out of there. Didn't tell nobody.
They didn't tell nobody, but yeah, it's gone. So shout out to Mayweather Boxing.
Shout out to them. We're gonna get
Yeah,
into some things this summer. It's gonna be a fun summer. But
yeah, I'm
anyway,
excited for the summer.
yeah, but anyway, let's kind of wrap this thing up because
Yeah,
I think that we're constantly achieving what it means to be each one teach one in our own
yeah.
ways. I'm really inspired by how Sharita is doing things right now. She has some
Oh, thank you.
virtual cooking classes available. So if y'all are interested, please indulge.
Oh, thank you.
And it's plant-based, so that is super dope. And a lot of
Mm,
other things. Whenever she's ready to share,
yeah,
you can
yeah. I'll
definitely
be
give us a
sharing
little.
some
Yeah,
things sooner or later.
cool.
Sooner than later, I guess I
Yeah,
should say. But thank you. Thank
absolutely.
you. And y'all go and check Tasia out because she is in the gym. Yes, check her out. What is it at Farm and Fit?
At Grow
Oh,
Live
Grow
Fit.
Live Fit. Sorry, at
Yeah,
Grow Live
yeah.
Fit. Grow Live Fit. Not Farm and Fit.
No,
Grow
no,
Live
no,
Fit.
no. Farm and Fit is a hashtag that I use because in the very beginning of my journey, I really wanted to show folks both, and I still
Mm-hmm.
do.
Yeah.
It's not something that I'm able to do all the time with farming, but I am
Yeah.
going to definitely bring some agriculture back. But
Yeah.
that's the thing, like you said
Yeah.
earlier, we're not perfect. We're doing this the best way we can,
Yeah.
and we're trying to fit in all of this healthy stuff and throw away all the stuff we knew forever, and
Yeah.
also balance life. Cause
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And you're doing that
Thank you so
well.
much,
You're
man.
doing it great. I got so many pointers to take from you as it relates definitely to fitness and just how to manage, and stay disciplined and showing up even when you don't feel like it. Cause you always showing up at the gym.
Thank you.
Always.
I think the thing is just going. And once you
Yeah.
get there, it's hard not to get started. So
Yeah.
just go. Put
Yeah.
the clothes on, feel good about yourself when you leave the door and
Yeah.
go
You
and get
gotta
it done.
prioritize it no matter what's going
Yeah,
on. Yeah. Well, cool. I enjoyed this conversation.
absolutely, as always. And we will definitely come back and talk and, do it all over again.
Yeah. See y'all next time.
Bye.
Peace.
Well, that's all for this month's episode. We hope you enjoyed it, found it relatable, and found at least one helpful thing that you can take into your wellness journey. Make sure to message us here with your feedback. Let us know what you think and send us your questions to be read out loud on the next episode, the second Wednesday of every month. So make sure to follow us on TikTok, YouTube, and Patreon at Organic Over Here. Set your notification, like, share, subscribe, and help us spread the word. Until next time, stay well. Bye, y'all.